Hello and welcome all in this video. So today we are discussing about one of the diseases which is caused by the Entamoeba histolytica, that is called as Amoebic dysentery or also called as Amoebiasis. Amoebic dysentery or Amoebiasis is a disease caused due to the Entamoeba histolytica. So whenever this Entamoeba histolytica enter into the body of any person, that person causes amoebic dysentery, because we know that Entamoeba histolytica lives in the lumen of large intestine of man. They can live in the lumen of large intestine of man, and they can invade or eat the intestinal wall and make their way deep into the submucosa. So by eating the intestinal wall, this Entamoeba histolytica enter into the submucosa layer of the intestinal wall, and there they can multiply by binary fission and spread radially outwards to form ulcers. And these ulcers contains cellular debris, lymphocytes, and blood corpuscles and bacteria is also found in that particular ulcers. So Entamoeba histolytica, when enter into the human body, they can enter into the intestinal wall and they forms ulcers, and the ulcers containing cellular debris, lymphocytes, blood corpuscles and bacteria. And this causes formation of abscess in intestinal wall. They can cause abscess in the intestinal wall, and due to which they can also necrosize the tissues and cells by the proteolytic enzymes secreted by this organism. And this proteolytic enzyme secreted by trophozoite of this parasite, they can erode the submucosa layer, and whenever this trophozoite eroded the submucosa layer, and sometimes this ulcer is burst. Whenever the ulcer bursts and blood capillaries ruptures, when the ulcer bursts and blood capillary ruptures, the blood and ulcer contents, that is mucus, cell debris, blood corpuscles, bacteria, amoebae, pour into the lumen of intestine and pass to outside with stool. Stool means the human excreta. So the blood and the ulcer contents pour into the lumen of the intestine and pass to outside with the outgoing stool. This characterizes the amoebic dysentery, or this particular removing of such a material from the body, that is called as a dysentery, and in that is particularly called as amoebic dysentery, or also called as amoebiasis. Amoebic dysentery or amoebiasis. And the person suffering from amoebic dysentery has repeated motions many times. Sometimes the trophozoites also enter into the blood circulation and then to the brain, liver, spleen, lungs and gonads. Sometimes this trophozoite stage of this organism make their way through blood circulation into the brain, liver, spleen, lungs and gonads, and these affected parts can destroy. That is, here they also destroy the tissues and causes formation of abscess or cavities containing the pus. The affected liver, suppose they can affect the liver, the affected liver becomes enlarged, congested and painful to touch and this pathological condition is referred to as Amoebic hepatitis. So these are the symptoms and pathogenesis of Amoebic dysentery or Amoebiasis. So again, the second point, mode of transmission. Mode of transmission, that is, it mainly occurs, this disease mainly occur due to the ingestion of cyst, in food or drinks, and due to which whenever this type of cysts enter into the body, they causes Amoebic dysentery. That is due to the contamination food and drinks. This disease or these parasites enter into the human body. The contamination of food and drinks occurs by due to unhygienic habits of food handlers. That is, cysts can enter into the food or drinks due to unhygienic habits of food handlers. Then due to habit of defecating in open fields, causing contamination of vegetables and water, and also due to transmission of cyst from stool to food and drinks by flies and cockroaches. These are the three main reasons due to which the cyst comes in contact with the drinking water and foods. Unhygienic habits of food handlers, habit of defecating in open fields, transmission of cyst from stool with the help of the flies and cockroaches. These are the causes or mode of transmission of this disease. Then about the treatment. So there are some drugs used for this control over Amoebic dysentery as therapy or treatment. So for temporary relief, an alkaloid emmetine is effective, and also a synthetic drug, also a synthetic derivative of emmetine, that is dihydroemmetine, is also equally effective. Then also the antimalarial drug like chloroquine, that is chloroquine, is effective against Amoebic abscess particularly in the liver. Again, we can also use iodine compounds. Some of the latest iodine compounds such as vioform, cuneiform, didoquine, etc. are also used for this purpose. For this control shows most or more lasting result. Certain antibiotics like fumigillin, terramycin, erythromycin, aureomycin are also effective, have proved to be effective in the eradication of this parasite. Perhaps the most effective, most significant advance in the treatment of amoebiasis has been use of particular type of metronidazole, which is a amoebicide, is very effective against intestinal and extraintestinal amoebiasis. So these are some drugs or medicines used to control the disease. And lastly, about the prevention. So the prevention of infection is entirely a matter of hygiene. Both, that is the personal as well as municipal hygiene, is very important to control this disease. So for personal hygiene, it is suggested to adapt the following habits. Number 1, washing hands with soap after handling dirty articles, before taking meals, and using toilets. Then we should cutting fingernails regularly. Then avoiding use of unboiled water and improperly washed vegetables. Protection of foods from contamination by houseflies and cockroaches. Then avoiding passing out of stool on open grounds, street sides or vegetable fields. So these are the personal hygiene we must follow to control the amoebic dysentery. Again, some municipal hygiene is a responsibility of the town areas or municipalities or other local bodies. They must take the following preventive measures that can be studied under municipal hygiene. Number 1, proper sanitation of roads, streets, open drains. Then purification of drinking water, proper disposal of sewage, covering of the food particles by the traders, chemical treatments given to human excreta and they can used as a fertilizer, and periodical examination of food handlers to find out whether they are infected with Entamoeba. These are some municipal hygienes. These are all about this amoebic dysentery, their symptoms and pathogenesis, mode of transmission, treatment given, and prevention. So once again, thank you for watching this video. And if you like this video, you can share with your friends and subscribe the channel. Thank you.